name is Megan Sabal, and I'm a PhD candidate at the University of California, Santa Cruz, studying ecology and evolutionary biology. I have a bachelor's degree from Miami University of Ohio and a master's degree also from the University of California, Santa Cruz. My PhD research focuses on the intersection of predation and migration. This is a super interesting topic because migrating animals are amazing and they're ecologically and often economically valuable to us. They also encounter many predators when they're actively migrating. We know much more about how those predators may eat migrating prey, but we know much less about how those predators affect the behavior of the migrating prey. Therefore, my PhD dissertation asks, how do predators affect migratory prey behavior, and what are those population level consequences? To address these questions, I use diverse approaches, including theory and synthesis that are applicable across migratory taxa, and field experiments and programming models in the study system of juvenile salmon. In a review paper, I summarize these unique challenges that migratory prey face related to predation and summarize their ecological and evolutionary consequences. One example are migratory birds that face high predation pressure at stopover sites where they pause to refuel to get energy for their migration. Therefore, they have a challenge of balancing energy between anti-predator responses, but also needing to be conspicuous while they refuel. And so together, these trade-offs can result in diverse patterns of behavior and mortality across the migratory life cycle of animals. In another paper, I further explore this trade-off between predation risk and energy in directionally moving animals with a theoretical model. The takeaway from the model are that these fine-scale anti-predator decisions in an animal that's moving to get somewhere ultimately affect movement. Also, different ecological factors can change the magnitude of that movement or even the direction of that movement. And using my model, we can make predictions about animal behavior. To empirically examine this trade-off, I also conducted 2 field experiments with migratory juvenile salmon. In both experiments, I built enclosures, long enclosures in the river, and then I timed juvenile salmon swimming from upstream to downstream through the enclosure with and without a predator present. And what that does is quantify their reaction to predation risk. And I also asked how that varied under different contexts. In 2017, I found that wild salmon reacted more strongly to a plastic largemouth bass than hatchery salmon. This suggests that prior predator experience matters to appropriate anti-predator responses. In 2018, I found that salmon reacted more strongly to a live largemouth bass in the shade compared to in direct sunlight. And this suggests that habitat and the environment can mediate how those salmon perceive risk. Both of these studies suggest that juvenile salmon can change their speed in response to predation risk, but that often these patterns are context dependent. The final piece of my dissertation that I'm working on is building a mathematical model to connect these fine-scale anti-predator decisions, both to physiology and to fitness. And by connecting all of those, I'll be able to run simulations to evaluate what are the population level consequences of these anti-predator decisions in migrating animals. I want to thank ARCS and UCSC and all my collaborators on all these projects for supporting my research. Thank you.